The first advice I can give to love people, and it took me a long time to learn that. I realized this kind of mindset later than you, I think, in life. I'm 32. I'm a little bit younger, but I used to spend all my money, and I did really great money when I was in Canada. I used to spend all my money in sport car tuning and stuff like this because it is a passion of mine. But the day I realized that your brain is not you. You can control your own emotion and you can control your own brain. What do I mean by this? Is someday I wake up and I did a lot of self-development. I invested a lot of money, like more than hundreds of thousands of dollars into self-development with coaches and stuff like this. And I realized that your brain's gonna make you live into, see your brain as a really, really, like a mother that don't want you, that is scared for you to do anything. A really, really conscious mother that's like, oh, don't do this, I'm scared for you. Your brain is pretty much reacting like this. If you step a little bit outside of your comfort zone, your brain's gonna do everything to bring you back to your comfort zone. For me, my comfort zone was to do enough money to live and to tune some car. Okay, but if I wanted to be richer and more successful in life, I need to give up something. Where a big part of your money do you think it goes? For somebody who have car passions, it's not a cheap passion. I would love to, love tennis instead of cars, which is not the case. It's like people, yeah, but a racket is expensive. So the day you realize that, okay, when I do something I really like and I want to stop it, just for a short amount of time, because it will come back. It's still a passion of mine, but I wait for the gratification. I delayed the gratification instead of having it instantly. So the day you're gonna realize that, okay, my brain play against me and it gives me what I want instantly, but just a little bit. You want wealth, you want to feel wealthy. You don't want wealth, you want to feel wealthy. That's the reality. Well, you're gonna go to a good restaurant. Okay, you just spend $200 or whatever, euro, whatever it is. Cut the luxury restaurant, cut the luxury car, cut the luxury apartment for 5 to 10 years. That's the hard part. And then you're gonna be probably wealthy. Are you willing to do that? Well, ask yourself this question. Me, I know I do. But if you're not willing to do this kind of sacrifice, well, stay in the instant gratification. Your life's gonna be much more simpler. People think going wealthy and going richer and it's so simple to move in a country like Paraguay where the cost of living is down. Well, at the end of the day, it costs probably more money to move here than sticking in Canada. In 2 years, no. The first years, it is more expensive because you have everything that comes with it. So don't play the game short term. Understand that your brain want to keep you in the comfort zone constantly. So as soon as you're gonna step out of it, your brain will do everything in its power to bring you back to the comfort zone. Can you fight this long enough? Yes, you can. At some point, you will realize, like you said, you said in a previous video, like, oh, fast food is fun. Like for me, my brain's like, sorry for the word, I'm eating fast food. It's good. It's not bad, but it's not that good as well, to be honest. Like I'm at the point where my brain's like, I know I have too much sugar. I know it is addictive. I know I have too much crappy food, and I regret it pretty much instantly. Like having a nice beer with a friends, like don't go out of this. But I will prefer me and Gary eating healthy. But we are two men in the countryside, so there's no fancy restaurant here, so we cannot go there. So we eat crappy food. But my brain regretted instantly. So now I get rewarded by the good instead of the short-term gratification. So you want to go there. How long it took me? Well, to be honest, 4 to 5 years. Anything to add?
Yeah, you can delay it for a certain amount of time. You're not going to delay it forever. It's hard delaying it if you're used to a certain lifestyle, but sometimes you just have to sacrifice to move ahead. And the people who can do that are just going to do better long term. And you don't have to do it forever. And oftentimes people have unrealistic expectations. They start out believing that they can do it for 5 years. Don't do that. Start with a 1 week period.
Yeah.
Do 1 week. If you can do 1 week, you can probably do a month.
Yeah.
But don't start out believing that you can do 5 years if you've never done a week. It's like going to the gym, lifting 100 pounds for your biceps. You're just not going to be able to do that. You know, so what do you do? Well, you start maybe with 15 or 20. Okay, if you can do that easily, okay, you're going to add maybe 20% more, right? You kind of gradually increase that instead of like going super hyperbolic, like really crazy period, which is not doable.
One habit at a time.
Yeah. So the lesson here is gratification is important, and just starting like baby steps I think is important to do. And if you can do it for 1 week, you can do it for a month. If you can do it for a month, you can do it for 3 months. If you can do it for 3 months, you can do it for the whole year. I mean, there is not that much more left for you to climb. But if you start out believing you can do it for 5 years, I mean, you're going to be waiting for a long time. But there's this quote, you have to live like nobody else so that later on you can live like nobody else. It's a perfect quote, you know, and very few people can do that. Not that every person is willing to do that. And the higher your living standard is, the harder it is to do. If you're in a situation where you don't have money, where you have to use your money for your business, you can't afford to go out, like you said, for nice meals and stuff. You can't take your girlfriend out on a nice vacation to the Maldives. Whatever it is, you can't have a nice car. You sold your car, you're not taking the bus, or you're taking Uber, stuff like that, you know. It's hard to do. Why? Because your current self-esteem, you know, it's tied to like a certain picture of you. It's like your current reality, and it's your perception, like who you think you are. And if that all of a sudden falls apart, I mean, it's very hard to replace that. So you can kind of try to change that gradually. I mean, to be fair, there are people that can change that pretty quickly. If it's like something that really burns inside, you can do that. If you don't have that, the best thing you can do is adjust gradually, I think. But if it's something major, if you're dealing with like a major life event, it's usually easier to do in some instances.
But
you know,
usually, like, let's say you have the major event. Let's say you're there in life, and the person who have the major event, who can change his life like in 2 days because he's at the bottom, he's there or she's there. So do you really want to be, you know, at the bottom before making this decision? No. So, you know, you still have a step in advance. Like, don't wait to be at the bottom. And to be here, I had to make a huge step back. Like, I mean, more than 3/4 of my income cut to be here. And now, after a couple months, well, the vision is coming back, the connection are coming back, and maybe it's gonna be much better. You know, we are working hard on that. So if you have an idea and everything in your mind tell you not doing it, well, you should do it. This is how I think, personally.
I feel like that's so common because, again, you're doing something that's outside your comfort zone. It's like moving to a place, like, you know how many times I had that when I thought about moving to a place and then I felt like, oh, this is not the right place to move to because there's so much uncertainty. I've never been there. It's a different continent sometimes. But then I moved there and it was actually the best experience ever, you know? But then when I went to the same place, you know, it's like my comfort zone, and I knew what the expectation was. I knew what I was going to get out, what I was not going to get out, and it didn't go anywhere.
Or it's tough, or it's like, man, it's not that tough.
Yeah. So oftentimes it's like when you just go to a place where you haven't been, I mean, this takes tremendous courage. And let's be real, working for yourself, being an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of courage. And to be fair, it's crazy to want that. It's insane. Why would you want that? You know, it's like there's got to be something inside of David that makes him want to do that not every person has. Because if you really think about it, it's insane. It's an insane vision to even want that. Why would you want that if you can go out and just have it easier, be more comfortable? I mean, to you guys listening, you're like building a business, whatever you're doing, right? An entrepreneur, you're in a startup, you have some kind of partnership, trying to make money online, whatever. And I mean, you're exposing yourself to so much risk. There's so much uncertainty, but whenever there's uncertainty, there's like this like potential promise of something bigger, better, greater. And if you can just taste like a little bit of that, just a little bit of taste, it's like you're going to a restaurant and you're trying like the chef's signature dish that you've read about online, you know, on Google and stuff like that, and you're like tasting that and you were like scared to go there. Why? Because there were a lot of new people you didn't know about, stuff like that, you know. It's like, let's say you meet a new group of people that are very, very different to you. Stuff like that makes you really want to go out of your comfort zone and kind of grow. And there's another quote which has held very true for my personal life. You have to be comfortable doing things you're uncomfortable. When I first heard that, it was very profound. I'm like, what? I have to be comfortable doing things I'm uncomfortable? That doesn't make any sense, you know? I want to be comfortable doing things I'm comfortable. So I feel like if you want that, there's going to be a lot of personal sacrifice and there's going to be pain, you know? Let's be real. This ain't no walk in the park. Like running a business and going out there.
Really pain.
It's pain, man. And as we said, you've got to be insane to want it.